Commander Jake Morrison walked across the bridge of the UES Defiant. The ship was not big compared to military warships. It carried only 200 people. Most of them were scientists and engineers. The Defiant was built for exploring space, not for fighting wars. Jake looked out at the stars through the main window. 3 months ago, his ship had left Earth to map new star systems. It was supposed to be a quiet mission. They would take pictures of planets, collect samples, and send reports back home. Nobody expected to find anything dangerous. But 2 days ago, everything changed. Dr. Lisa Hayes ran onto the bridge. Her face was red from excitement. She held a data pad in her hands. "Commander, you need to see this," she said, breathing hard. Jake turned to look at her. Lisa was his chief science officer. She was smart and careful. If she was this excited, it had to be important. "What did you find?" Jake asked. Lisa showed him the data pad. On the screen was a picture of something huge floating in space. It looked like a giant ring made of dark metal. Strange lights moved along its surface. "We found it to light years from here," Lisa said. "It's bigger than any space station we've ever seen. The computer says it's at least 50,000 years old." Jake stared at the picture. "Is it still working?" "That's the amazing part," Lisa said. "It's completely dead on the outside. But when we got close, our sensors picked up energy readings from deep inside. Something is still alive in there." Jake felt his heart beat faster. Finding alien technology this old was the discovery of a lifetime. It could change everything humans knew about space travel. "Have you told Earth?" Jake asked. "Not yet," Lisa said. "I wanted to show you first. Commander, if this technology still works, it could help us travel faster than we ever dreamed. We could reach other galaxies." Jake thought about this. The discovery was too important to ignore, but it was also dangerous. If other alien races found out about it, they might want it for themselves. "Set course for the structure," Jake said, "but keep our weapons ready. We don't know who else might be watching." The Defiant moved toward the alien structure. It took them 6 hours to reach it. As they got closer, Jake could see how massive it really was. The ring was big enough to fit Earth's moon inside it. Lieutenant Commander Alex Carter was working at the weapons station. He was young but smart. Jake trusted him to watch for danger. "Commander," Alex said, "I'm picking up 3 ships coming toward us. They're not human." Jake felt his stomach drop. "How far away?" 2 hours at their current speed," Alex said. "They're big ships, much bigger than us." Jake thought quickly. The alien ships might be friendly, but they might also want to take the ancient structure for themselves. He had to be ready for anything. "Dr. Hayes, how long do you need to study the structure?" Jake asked. Lisa looked nervous. "At least 12 hours to understand the basics. Maybe days to figure out how it works." "We don't have days," Jake said. "Do what you can in 2 hours." Lisa nodded and ran back to her lab. Jake watched the alien ships getting closer on the main screen. They were shaped like arrows with glowing engines. He had never seen ships like them before. 1 hour later, the alien ships arrived. They were huge, each one 10 times bigger than the Defiant. They formed a circle around the human ship. Jake could see weapons pointed at them from all sides. A voice came over the radio. It spoke in perfect English, but with a strange accent. "Human vessel. This is Ambassador Vulture of the Zephyrian Hegemony. You are in our space without permission." Jake picked up the radio. "This is Commander Morrison of Earth Ship Defiant. We found this structure in unclaimed space. We have the right to study it." "You are wrong," the alien voice said. "This space belongs to the hegemony. The structure belongs to us. You will leave now or face the consequences." Jake looked around his bridge. His crew was watching him. They trusted him to make the right choice. He thought about the ancient technology Lisa was studying. It could help all of humanity reach the stars. "I'm sorry, Ambassador," Jake said into the radio. "But we found it first. We're not leaving." There was silence for a long moment. Then the alien voice came back, colder than before. "Commander Morrison, you do not understand what you are dealing with. The Zephyrian hegemony controls 12 star systems. We have thousands of warships. Your little exploration ship cannot fight us." Jake felt anger rising in his chest. He had spent his whole life serving in Earth's space navy. He had fought pirates and rebels. He knew when someone was trying to bully him. "Maybe you don't understand what you're dealing with," Jake said. "Humans don't give up just because someone has more ships. We found this structure in open space. It's ours now." Alex looked at Jake with wide eyes. The whole bridge crew was staring. They all knew Jake had just declared war on an alien empire. The alien voice came back one more time. "You have 48 hours to leave, Commander Morrison. If you are still here after that time, we will remove you by force. This is your only warning." The alien ships turned and flew away, but Jake knew they would be back. And when they came, they would bring more ships. Dr. Hayes came back to the bridge. She looked excited and scared at the same time. "Commander, I found something incredible. This isn't just a space station. It's some kind of reality manipulation device. If we can figure out how it works, it could change the laws of physics around our ship." Jake smiled grimly. "Then you better work fast, Doctor, because in 48 hours, we're going to need all the help we can get." He looked out at the stars and wondered if he had just made the biggest mistake of his life. But he also knew he couldn't back down now. The technology in that ancient structure could help humanity explore the entire universe. It was worth fighting for, even if it meant fighting the entire galaxy. News of the human ship's refusal spread across Zephyrian space like fire. In the capital city on planet Zephyr Prime, Supreme Overlord Kethmos sat in his throne room. He was old, even for his species. His blue skin had turned dark with age, and his eyes glowed with anger. "They refused?" Kethmos asked. His voice was deep and scary. The other aliens in the room stepped back in fear. Ambassador Velter stood before the throne. He was shaking. "Yes, my lord. The human commander said they would not leave. He claimed they found the structure first." Kethmos stood up slowly. He was 12 feet tall. His claws scraped against the stone floor as he walked. "For 800 years, the hegemony has ruled this part of space. No one has ever dared to challenge us. And now these humans think they can tell us what to do." General Vexenath stepped forward. He was the greatest military leader in hegemony history. His red armor was covered with medals from 100 battles. "My lord, let me take a small fleet. I can destroy their ship in minutes." "No," Kethmos said. His voice was cold as ice. "This is not about one ship. This is about respect. If other races see that humans can defy us, they might get ideas. We must send a message that will be remembered for 1,000 years." He turned to face the Council of 12. These were the leaders of all the alien races in the hegemony. They looked worried. War was expensive, and they preferred to make money through trade. "My lord," said Counselor Zethak, "surely we don't need a large force. The humans only have one small ship." Kethmos slammed his fist on the throne. The sound echoed through the hall. "You don't understand. This is not about winning a battle. This is about showing the entire galaxy what happens when someone challenges the hegemony. We will send the largest fleet in history. Every species will see our power and remember why they bow to us." The council members looked at each other nervously, but none of them dared to argue with the Supreme Overlord. "General Vexenath," Kethmos said, "you will command this fleet. I want ships from every member species. I want so many warships that they block out the stars. The humans wanted to fight. We will give them a war they will never forget." Vexenath smiled. His sharp teeth gleamed in the light. "How many ships, my lord?" "All of them," Kethmos said. 50,000 warships, 30 million crew members. Every dreadnought, every battle cruiser, every fighter ship we have. The humans will see our fleet and surrender immediately. If they don't, we will turn their ship into space dust, far away." On the bridge of the Defiant, Jake Morrison was having his own meeting. His senior officers sat around the conference table. They all looked worried. "Commander," said Alex Carter, "our long-range sensors are picking up massive ship movements throughout hegemony space. It looks like they're gathering fleets from 12 different star systems." Dr. Lisa Hayes was working on her data pad. She looked up with tired eyes. "I've been studying the alien structure for 36 hours. Jake, this technology is incredible. It's not just advanced, it's impossible by our understanding of physics." "What do you mean?" Jake asked. "The structure can change the basic rules. Of reality, Lisa said. It can make energy work backwards. It can make time run slower or faster. It can even make solid objects pass through each other like ghosts. Lieutenant Sarah Phillips, the ship's navigator, whistled softly. Could we use it to escape? Maybe, Lisa said. But I don't understand how to control it yet. The computer systems are completely alien. It would take months to figure out. We don't have months, Alex said. My scans show at least 20,000 ships heading our way. Maybe more. Jake felt the weight of command on his shoulders. He had never faced odds like this. No human had. But he thought about the ancient technology. If it could really change the laws of physics, it might give humanity the power to explore beyond the galaxy. How's the crew holding up, Jake asked. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Ben Clark spoke up. They're scared, but they trust you. Most of them volunteered for this mission to help humanity reach the stars. They know what's at stake. Jake nodded. He looked around the table at his officers. They were good people. They deserved better than dying in a hopeless battle. But they also deserved the chance to give humanity a future among the stars. Dr. Hayes, keep working on that alien technology. Focus on anything that might help us defend ourselves. Alex, prepare all weapons systems. I know we can't fight 50,000 ships, but maybe we can make them think twice. What about calling for help from Earth? Sarah asked. Jake shook his head. The nearest Earth ships are 6 months away. We're on our own. Young engineer Peter Walsh had been quiet during the meeting. Now he spoke up. Commander, what if we're thinking about this wrong? What if the aliens built this structure as a weapon? Lisa looked up from her data pad. That's possible. The energy readings are enormous. If we could activate it, could it destroy their fleet? Jake asked. I don't know, Lisa said honestly. It might destroy us too. Or it might do something completely unexpected. This technology is beyond anything we understand. Jake stood up. Through the window, he could see the ancient alien structure floating. In space, it looked peaceful, but he knew it held power beyond imagination. We have 12 hours before their deadline, Jake said. Keep working on that structure. If we're going to fight the entire hegemony, we'll need every advantage we can get. As his officers left the meeting, Jake stayed behind. He looked out at the stars and thought about Earth. His home planet seemed very far away, but he knew that what happened here would change the future of humanity forever. He just hoped they would live long enough to see it. The hegemony Armada arrived like a dark storm cloud. Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the Defiant and watched in amazement. Ships filled the space around them as far as he could see. There were so many that they blocked out the stars. My God, whispered Alex Carter. He was staring at his sensor readings. Commander, I count 47,000 ships. Maybe more. The computer can't track them all. Jake felt his mouth go dry. He had seen big battles before, but nothing like this. The enemy ships were huge. Some of them were the size of cities. Their weapons could destroy planets. Dr. Lisa Hayes ran onto the bridge. Her hair was messy and her clothes were dirty. She had been working on the alien structure for 2 days without sleep. Jake, I think I figured something out, she said. She was breathing hard. The structure responds to human brain waves. It doesn't work for other aliens, but it reacts to us. What does that mean? Jake asked. I'm not sure yet, Lisa said. But when I touched the control panel, something happened. The whole structure lit up for a few seconds. A deep voice came over the radio. It was General Vexenoth, commander of the Armada. Human ship, this is your final warning. Surrender now, and we will let your crew live as prisoners. Refuse, and we will turn your ship into atoms. Jake looked around his bridge. His crew was watching him. They were scared, but they trusted him. He thought about the alien technology. If it really responded to humans, maybe they had a chance. Dr. Hayes, can you activate the structure? Jake asked. I think so, Lisa said, but I don't know what will happen. This technology is millions of years old. It could do anything. Jake picked up the radio. General Vexenoth, this is Commander Morrison. We found this structure in open space. We won't give it up. If you want it, come and take it. The alien general laughed. It was a cold, cruel sound. You humans are brave but stupid. Very well, you have chosen death. All ships, prepare to fire. Jake turned to Lisa. Do it. Activate the structure. Lisa ran to her science station. Her fingers moved over the controls. I need someone to go to the structure with me. The activation requires a human touch. I'll go, said Peter Walsh. The young engineer looked scared, but determined. No, Jake said. I'll go. Alex, you have command of the ship. Jake and Lisa took a small shuttle to the alien structure. As they flew toward it, Jake could see the hegemony ships getting ready to attack. Energy weapons were charging. Missile tubes were opening. Inside the structure, everything was dark and quiet. Strange symbols glowed on the walls. Lisa led Jake to a large room in the center. There was a control panel covered with alien writing. Put your hand here, Lisa said, pointing to a flat surface on the panel. Jake placed his palm on the control panel. Immediately, the entire structure came alive. Lights raced along the walls. The floor vibrated under their feet. Jake felt something strange happening to his mind. He could sense the structure's power flowing through him. It's working, Lisa said with excitement. The structure is responding to your neural patterns. It's like it was waiting for humans to find it. Back on the Defiant, Alex watched as the alien structure began to glow. Streams of energy flowed around it like rivers of light. What's happening? He asked. Lieutenant Sarah Phillips was monitoring. The sensors. The structure is changing space around us. The readings don't make sense. It's like the laws of physics are being rewritten. General Vexenath saw the structure activating. He felt worried for the first time, but he had orders from the Supreme Overlord. All ships, fire at will. Destroy that structure and the human ship. 50,000 alien warships opened fire at once. Energy beams and missiles filled space. It was enough firepower to destroy a solar system. But something impossible happened. The weapons didn't hit. Their targets, energy beams, curved away from the human ship like water flowing around a rock. Missiles slowed down and stopped in mid-flight. Some weapons actually turned around and flew backwards. What's happening to our weapons? Screamed one alien captain over the radio. The space around them is wrong, another captain reported. Our sensors show that time is moving differently there. Some of our shots are hitting targets that don't exist yet. On the Defiant, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Ben Clark was amazed. The structure is creating some kind of protective field around us. But it's not a normal shield. It's changing the basic rules of reality. Jake felt the alien technology flowing through his mind. He could sense what it was doing. The structure wasn't just protecting them. It was teaching him how to use its power. Lisa, he said over the radio, the structure is showing me things. I can see how to control space and time around our ship. More waves of alien weapons fire came at them. This time, Jake concentrated on the control panel. The attacks passed through the Defiant like it wasn't there. The ship had become a ghost, existing between dimensions. Security Chief Tony Jackson was checking on the crew. Commander, something strange is happening to us too. Some of the crew are reporting that they can see through walls. Others say they can move objects with their minds. Jake realized what was happening. The alien structure wasn't just protecting them. It was changing them. The humans were evolving, becoming something more than they were before. General Vexenath watched in horror as his mighty Armada's attacks did nothing. Worse, some of his own ships were being destroyed by their own weapons bouncing back at them. Impossible. He whispered, no technology can do this. But Jake Morrison and his crew were learning that some things were beyond the understanding of the hegemony. The ancient structure had been waiting for a species brave enough to stand against impossible odds. Now it had found them. The real battle was just beginning. The battle had been going on for 6 days. General Vexenath sat in his command chair, staring at the reports in disbelief. Of his original 50,000 ships, 12,000 were already destroyed or missing. The rest were retreating to safe distances. Sir, said his aide, a nervous young officer, we've lost another battle group. The humans somehow made their weapons shoot backwards through time. The ships were destroyed before they even fired. Vexenath felt old and tired. In 40 years of commanding fleets, he had never seen anything like this. The human ship was still there, floating next to the alien structure. But now it looked different. Parts of it seemed to fade in and out of existence. What about the planet killers? Vexanath asked. We tried, sir. The reality bombs just disappeared when they got close. To the humans, our scientists think they were sent to another dimension. On the Defiant, Jake Morrison walked through the corridors of his ship. Everything had changed. The walls glowed softly with energy from the alien structure. His crew members moved like ghosts, sometimes walking through solid objects without noticing. Jake found Dr. Lisa Hayes in her lab. She was floating 3 feet above the ground, studying holographic displays that appeared in the air around her. Lisa, how are you doing that? Jake asked. Lisa looked down and seemed surprised to see herself floating. I don't know. Ever since we connected to the structure, strange things keep happening. I can think about something and it just appears. She waved her hand and a cup of coffee materialized out of thin air. The alien technology is changing us, Jake. We're becoming something more than human. Chief Engineer Maria Gonzalez came running into the lab, but instead of using the door, she walked straight through the wall. Commander, I figured out how to make small versions of the reality field. I can give every crew member a device that makes them nearly impossible to hurt. Jake took the small device Maria handed him. It looked like a simple metal bracelet. How does it work? Just put it on and think about being protected, Maria said. The device connects to your brain and changes the space around your body. Jake put on the bracelet. Immediately, he felt different. He could sense the energy flowing around him like a warm blanket. When he concentrated, his hand became transparent. This is incredible, Jake said. But what's happening to the enemy fleet? Alex Carter's voice came over the ship's communication system. Commander, you need to see this. The aliens are going crazy out there. Jake made his way to the bridge. Through the main window, he could see the hegemony fleet in chaos. Ships were flying in all directions. Some were firing at empty space. Others were shooting at their own allies. What's wrong with them? Jake asked. Lieutenant Sarah Phillips was monitoring the alien communications. From what I can understand, they think we're demons or ghosts. They can't figure out how we're doing this. Some of their crews are refusing to fight. Security Chief Tony Jackson had been leading teams to board enemy ships, but these weren't normal boarding parties. The humans could walk through walls and appear anywhere they wanted. Commander, Tony reported, we've taken control of 17 enemy ships. Without firing a shot, the alien crews just surrender when they see us walking through their walls. Some of them are praying to their gods. Dr. Ben Clark had discovered something amazing about the alien technology. Jake, the structure isn't just changing our bodies, it's healing us too. I can reverse injuries by making time flow backwards around the wounded area. Jake felt a mix of excitement and worry. The power they had gained was incredible, but he wondered what they were becoming. Were they still human? His thoughts were interrupted by an urgent message from Alex. Commander, we're receiving a transmission from the Hegemony flagship. It's Supreme Overlord Kethmos himself. Jake looked at the main screen. The alien leader appeared before him. Kethmos looked older and more tired than in his official pictures. His 4 eyes were filled with fear. Human Commander, Kethmos said, I offer a truce. Call off your attacks, and we will withdraw our fleet. Jake almost laughed. Our attacks? You're the ones who brought 50,000 ships to destroy us. Please, Kethmos said. His voice was desperate. My people are terrified. They think you are using forbidden magic. Half of my fleet has already deserted. The other half wants to surrender. Jake thought about this. The structure was still teaching him things about the universe. He could see possible futures spreading out like branches on a tree. In most of them, the hegemony collapsed completely. Why should I trust you? Jake asked. You came here to make an example of us. Because you have already won, Kethmos said. News of your victory is spreading across the galaxy. Dozens of worlds are rebelling against hegemony rule, they say. If one human ship can defeat our entire fleet, then we are not as powerful as we claimed. Dr. Hayes floated over to Jake. The structure is showing me something, she whispered. There are other devices like this one scattered across the galaxy. They're all waking up because of what we did here. Jake felt a chill run down his spine. If there were more structures like this one, and if they were all responding to humans, then everything was about to change. Kethmos, Jake said. You made a mistake when you decided to threaten us. Now the whole galaxy will know that humans don't back down from bullies. The alien leader's face went pale. What do you want from us? Jake smiled. We want you to leave us alone. We want you to free all the worlds you've conquered. And we want you to tell everyone what happened here today. Kethmos nodded quickly. It will be done. Please, just let us go. As the hegemony fleet began to retreat, Jake knew that everything had changed. Humanity was no longer alone in the galaxy. They had become something much more powerful. The question now was what they would do with that power. 3 weeks had passed since the great battle. Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the Defiant, but it was no longer the same ship. The alien structure had changed everything. Parts of the ship now existed in multiple dimensions at once. The crew could walk on walls and ceilings as easily as floors. Commander, said Communications Officer Katie Sullivan, we're receiving surrender messages from over 100 hegemony worlds. They want to join the Human Alliance. Jake nodded. The news didn't surprise him anymore. Every day brought reports of alien worlds breaking free from hegemony control. The story of one human ship defeating 50,000 alien warships had spread across the galaxy. Like wildfire. Dr. Lisa Hayes materialized next to him. She no longer needed to walk through doors. The alien technology had given her the ability to teleport short distances by folding space around herself. Jake, I've been studying the data from other human exploration ships, she said. We found 17 more ancient structures. They're all activating. Every human crew that finds one gains the same powers we have. Alex Carter looked up from his station. His eyes now glowed with a soft blue light, a side effect of connecting to the alien technology. Long-range sensors show human ships appearing all over the galaxy. They're not using normal faster-than-light travel anymore. They're jumping through dimensions. Jake felt a mix of pride and worry. Humanity was spreading across the stars faster than anyone had ever imagined. But they were also changing into something beyond normal human understanding. Any word from Earth? Jake asked. The government is trying to understand what's happening, Katie said. They've sent Admiral Grant with a fleet to investigate. They should arrive in a few days. Lieutenant Sarah Phillips was monitoring space around them. Commander, we have a visitor. It's General Vexanath. He's alone in a small ship. Jake was surprised. The alien general who had commanded the Great Armada wanted to talk. Let him come aboard. A few minutes later, Vexanath walked onto the bridge. But he looked very different from the proud warrior who had led the attack. His red armor was gone. His eyes were filled with sadness and fear. Commander Morrison, Vexanath said, I come to ask for your help. Help? Jake asked. 3 weeks ago you tried to destroy us. I know, Vexanath said. And I was wrong. But now the hegemony is falling apart. Worlds are declaring independence every day. Some are forming their own armies, without central control. There will be chaos and war across 12 star systems. Dr. Ben Clark had been listening from the medical bay. He walked through the wall to join the conversation. General, why should we care what happens to the hegemony? Because billions of innocent people will die, Vexanath said. Not all of. U.S. supported the attack on your ship. Many worlds were forced to join the hegemony against their will. Now they're fighting each other for revenge. Jake thought about this. The alien structure had shown him many possible futures. In some of them, the galaxy was consumed by wars that lasted for centuries. What do you want us to do? Jake asked. Help us create a new system, Vexanath said. One where different species can work together as equals. The old hegemony ruled through fear, but you've shown that there's a better way. Engineer Peter Walsh spoke up from his station. Commander, I've been monitoring the other human crews. With ancient structures, they're all reporting the same thing. Alien worlds are asking for help and protection. Jake realized that humanity had become something they never expected to be. They were the strongest power in the galaxy. Other species were looking to them for leadership. Dr. Hayes, what does the structure tell you about our future? Jake asked. Lisa closed her eyes and connected her mind to the alien technology. When she opened them again, she looked amazed. Jake, the beings who built these structures left them for us. They knew that someday humans would find them. We were chosen. Chosen for what? Jake asked. To unite the galaxy, Lisa said. The ancient builders saw that we were different from other species. We don't give up when facing impossible odds. We protect the weak even when it costs us. They knew we would use their technology to help others, not to conquer them. Security Chief Tony Jackson had been quiet during the conversation. Now he stepped forward. Commander, whatever we decide, we need to be careful. Power like this can change people. We need to remember who we are. Jake looked around at his crew. They had all been changed by the alien technology. But at their core, they were still the same people who had refused to surrender when facing 50,000 enemy ships. General Vexenov, Jake said, will help, but not as conquerors. We'll help create a federation where all species have equal rights. The alien general's eyes filled with tears of relief. Thank you, Commander. You are more merciful than we deserve. Over the following months, Jake and his crew traveled across the galaxy. They used their incredible powers to stop wars and bring peace to troubled worlds. Other human crews did the same in distant star systems. The old hegemony was replaced by the Galactic Federation. Humans didn't rule it, but they protected it. Their advanced ships patrolled space, keeping the peace between different species. Admiral Grant arrived from Earth with questions about what humanity had become. Jake showed him the ancient structure and explained what had happened. My God, Grant whispered, we're not just explorers anymore. We're guardians of the galaxy. Yes, Jake said. And it all started because we refused to give up something we found fair and square. Katie Sullivan was monitoring communications from across the galaxy. Commander, I'm receiving reports from the frontier. New species are asking to join the Federation. They've heard stories about the humans who defeated an Armada with one ship. Jake smiled. The story would be told for generations. How one human commander named Jake Morrison looked at 50,000 enemy warships and said, come and take it. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Never underestimate a species that refuses to surrender, no matter what the odds. Because sometimes the impossible becomes possible when you're too stubborn to quit. And now, half the galaxy was grateful that humanity had been too proud to back down.